Pax Christi Nigerian Catholics. Now, before I go ahead with this, I really want to make this quick disclaimer. I understand how sensitive this story is, so I am being extra careful here. And I must state clearly that this involves both a former religious sister and her congregation, and that what I'm about to share with you is based on the official statement of the Mother of Perpetual Help of the Archangel Sisters, the congregation to which this sister formerly belonged. And our aim here is not to attack or defend anyone personally, but to present the facts as they are, especially as it stands according to the teaching of the Catholic Church and the Code of Canon Law. It is important for us to note the following. This is clearly what the Church's law, which is the Code of Canon Law, says about expulsion of a Catholic religious sister or brother from his or her religious congregation. According to Canon 694 and 1, a religious must be held as dismissed ipso facto from an institute who, 1, has defected notoriously from the Catholic faith, 2, has contracted marriage or attempted it, even only civilly, 3, has been illegitimately absent from the religious house pursuant to Canon 665 and 2 for 12 consecutive months, taking into account that the location of the religious himself or herself may be unknown. End of quote. Please bear this in mind before we continue. Now, in recent weeks, there has been this controversy. If you have been on this space long enough, of course, outside this platform, you would have definitely heard of the name Sister Kinsey Anastasia, who was once a member of the Mother of Perpetual Help of the Archangel Sisters, a congregation that, very honestly, a lot of us didn't even know existed until now. This congregation is from the Catholic Diocese of Auchi in Edo State, Nigeria. And her name came up because of a social media post which has since gone viral, where she stated that religious sisters are not the wives of priests. She alleged that priests have at sometimes treated sisters as objects or companions rather than consecrated women of God. And in response, her former congregation issued a statement, an official statement clarifying their position and distancing themselves from her claims. According to her congregation, Anastasia ceased to be a member of the congregation she had formerly belonged to after she publicly, mark that, publicly renounced Christianity, discarded her religious habit, and declared her conversion to Islam on her Facebook page. Please take note of that. Although she later denied that conversion, the congregation pointed out that she herself confirmed at the time that her account had not been hacked, rejecting all attempts to reach out and reconcile. They further revealed, that is her congregation now, that she had been formally dismissed by a letter dated July 21st, 2025, following repeated acts of misconduct, including maltreatment of her fellow sisters and inability to live in community. Despite being offered medical and spiritual care as well as opportunities for dialogue, she chose to disregard every effort. Now, her congregation also insisted that during her years of formation and service, this sister never reported any sexual abuse by a priest or anyone. They stressed that her current statements are entirely personal and have no connection with their congregation, their charism, or their mission. In their words, and I'm quoting them now, consecrated life and the priesthood remain sacred gifts to the church and society. Every day, countless priests and religious serve faithfully in pastoral care, education, healthcare, and social outreach. These sacrifices should not be overshadowed by the failings of an individual. End of quote. The Mother of Perpetual Help Sisters concluded by affirming their commitment to their mission while still expressing a motherly concern for Anastasia, praying for her well-being even outside religious life. Now here are a few points, serious points we really need to reflect on. First of all, identity and credibility is very important in the Catholic Church. Mark that. Very important. It is critical. It is highly important. In the Catholic Church, religious identity is not a casual matter. Please take note. A public renunciation of faith, even if later retracted, is inviting mistrust. For the sisters, once Anastasia publicly declared she was leaving the faith, her credibility as a religious witness collapsed. From their standpoint, anything she says afterwards cannot represent them because she already rejected the very foundation of their life. Please take note of that. Secondly, the point of discipline and formation is paramount here. The congregation revealed that Anastasia had a history of challenges, maltreatment of fellow sisters, difficulty in community life, and even suspension in the past. These are not small accusations. They suggest that the struggle was not only external but also internal. A difficulty to live under the vow of obedience, community life, and religious discipline. The third point we can reflect on here is the question of sexual abuse allegations. The sister strongly stated, her congregation strongly stated, that at no time did she ever report abuse. This particular point is crucial. Abuse in the church is real and must always be taken seriously. But if a sister never reported such issues while living in community only to raise them after living in controversy, it puts her claims under suspicion. The church cannot investigate what was never reported, and silence during formation undermines credibility when accusations arise later. The fourth point is the bigger picture of consecrated life. The congregation is right to remind the faithful that the failings of one individual must not overshadow the faithfulness of thousands. Every day, there are priests and sisters, not just in Nigeria, but across every single community, every single Christian community where Christians are, that live heroic lives of service, teaching in schools, caring for the sick, evangelizing in villages, and nurturing vocations. For us to let one voice, especially a disputed one, define the image of consecrated life would be unjust to the silent witness of thousands of others. The last point is the lesson of Judas. The statement from the congregation points clearly to the fact that even among the 12 apostles, there was betrayal. This biblical reminder puts the matter in perspective. Human weakness does not erase divine calling. Just as Judas's betrayal did not cancel the faithfulness of John or Peter, the mistakes of one sister do not cancel the witness of countless others. Finally, is the matter of charity and prayer. That despite everything, the sisters ended their statement not with condemnation, but with a motherly openness. They remain willing to assist this sister even outside religious life. This clearly shows that for them, discipline is not devoid of love. Correction flows from care, even if the individual in question resists it. At the end of the day, the story of former sister Kinsey, Anastasia, is not just about scandal. It's about how the church handles identity, discipline, truth, and mercy. Her congregation statement makes it clear that they do not see her words as representing consecrated life. Please take note of this. Instead, they reaffirm the sacredness of religious vocation and the daily faithfulness of priests and sisters who quietly serve God's people. In the end, this controversy reminds us that the church is both divine and human. Individuals may fail, we know that, but the mission of Christ carried out through consecrated life endures. Please keep your comments respectful. I know how heated this could be. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you.